When should I start revising for my examination? Should I wait for my friends? Should I make an appointment with my friends? Should I wait for the teacher's template? Do I wait for the teacher to tell me when I should do it, or my mom? No. Welcome to Design and Coursework Chat with Mr. Daniel. I'm going to explore and explain in detail how you can work out when you should start your revision. Not a week before your examination, not a month before, not a month and a half before, not 2 or 3, or not when your friend starts. Why? Everybody is different. You are an individual. How fast you learn, how fast you can recall, how fast you can master a certain subject is different from how fast your friends does it. Your friends may be able to understand a concept or a topic in less than an hour. For you, maybe you are slower in learning, you may be weaker in the particular subject, you may need 3 hours. So every individual is different. If you plan to start your revision with your friend, starting from a certain date together, you are not doing good service to yourself. Now, I also know why you want to study with your friends. What do you do when you study with your friends? You bring tidbits, you bring beverages, you bring lots of yummy food, and you spend your time eating and chit-chatting. How much time do you actually spend revising? Be honest about it. But please do not keep yourself. So now back to the question. How do I know when I should start my revision? In my previous video, I talked about examination strategies, and I talked about beginning with the first subject last and last subject first. And this video is about how you can determine the start time for your revision, because everybody is different. How do you do that? You know yourself best, and you have various subjects. You may be stronger with one and weaker in the other, or you may be strong in all your subjects, whatever it may be. When you come and prepare for an examination, first you must know that when we talk about revision, you must have finished all your necessary studying. That means for this particular subject, subject A, I already know everything inside out about the subject. I can get a piece of paper, I can write them all out. I can recall without much difficulty. Okay, you can forget about this and that a little bit here and there. You can still refer to the textbooks. That is what practice is all about and revising is all about. You cannot be possibly remembering and recalling 100%, though some people might be able to do so. Let me give you an example how you can work out the starting time. It may be much earlier than you think. Maybe a month or 2 earlier from the beginning or the first paper of the examination. Okay, so let's start. Assuming you have 3 subjects, just 3. I don't think there's 3, but for simplicity, let's work with 3. Subject A, B, and C. You are good with all subjects except subject C. So you estimate and you work it out and we say, okay, for subject A and B, I will require 1 day for me to work out those items or those concepts which I still do not understand. So for subject A and B, I need an additional 1 day. For subject C, there are much more things which I need to discover and learn. I will need 2 days. So as long as you have finished your study, the rest is easy. easy. You can spend as much time as you want doing your revision. The more time you revise, the more repetitions you do that, the faster and the more confident you will become, not less. So more time will be spent on studying and figuring things out, how things work. How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you get answers for this? How do you get answers for that? Okay, so subject A and B, 1 day for study. Subject C, 2 days for studying, because you are weaker in that. So, and you want to allocate, say for example, 1 day each for revision. So if the examination starts on Monday, I will always like to plan in this manner. I want my weekends to be free. I do not want to be too stressed up with studying. I need to have some play. I need to relax. You need to plan in your free time. So if you are really hardworking, you want to work through the nights, do it weekdays, and then the weekends you can do whatever you want. You can do additional revision, you can do additional study, or you can play all you want. Okay, that's stress-free planning. So assuming that the examination starts on a Monday, you do the first subject last subject first. So in all, how many days do you need? You calculate. Subject A, 2 days. 1 day for studying, 1 day for revision. Subject B, 2 days. 1 day for studying, 1 day for revision. So there is 4 days. Subject C, 2 days for studying, there's 6 days, and 1 day for revision, 7 days. And how many days do you have in a week? 7. How many Saturdays and Sundays? 2. So you have 5 days. So when you should start the revision? You should start 7 days, 7 working days before the start of the first examination paper. So say for example, subject A will be tested first, followed by subject B and subject C. How do you strategize which subject to do first? If subject A starts first, you will begin with subject C. You will start your subject C studying on a Thursday and a Friday. 2 days for studying because you are weaker with that. And then you take the Saturday and Sunday off, and then come Monday, you do your revision for subject C. It's Monday. And then you do your study for subject B on a Tuesday, and on a Wednesday you do your revision. And then on a Thursday and a Friday you will do your subject A. Study on a Thursday, revision on a Friday. And then you take your weekends off, Saturday and Sunday. And then you will get ready for your first examination paper for subject A on a Monday. On Monday, you go for examination with the freshest subject A in your head, because that was your last study and revision. It should be clear and fresh in your head, ready for the examination. And if you're anxious, you can always do your revision. You see, that is why it is so important to be arriving at the revision stage when you talk about examination and getting ready for it. When you do revision, and if you are already good with the subject, you can recall your information as and when you need. You can walk and think. You can get a piece of paper and jot and write them down at your will, anytime you want. That's revision. You don't have to rely on a textbook. You don't have to rely on physical materials or listen to some audio. You think about them and you recall as much as you can. That's revision. Okay, that is all. Easy. That is how you can work out when you should start your revision. Not together with your friends, because your friends may be different. Your friends may not need any days. Your friends may need a month. Okay, so different. And now I want to talk about how do you actually do it. Study and revising. How I would do it. revise with a sense of urgency. I might have given myself a day or two for studying, but that day or two is a very conservative number. I could have finished it in half a day or a day, but I gave myself a day or two, and I do it quickly with a sense of urgency. What is the advantage of doing that? You do it with a sense of urgency, you learn faster, you have a little bit of tension and stress that makes you work faster. Okay, because you might be thinking, if I do it faster, I may not be able to complete. So do it urgently, but of course do it smart and wisely. If you do it with a sense of urgency and you complete your studying faster than you planned, what can you do? You can do anything you want. You can start the next subject, or you can spend all the other times revising till you drop. You can do that. Isn't that good? Okay, so revising and studying with a sense of urgency, and the time that you allocate should be one that is conservative. It cannot be one that you cannot afford to exceed. Okay, be kind to yourself, and you start early. So if your friend comes and laughs at you and say, "Oh, why are you starting your revision so early?" You please do not get disturbed by comments like that. You are doing for yourself, not your friends. Another point that I want to talk about is how you do your revision. There are many ways. When you're stuck, what do you do? In school, what do you do? This is my observation. Sometimes the teachers can be quite free. I'm not saying that teachers are very free. Teachers are very, very busy with many things to do. Other than teaching and preparing lessons, your teacher is basically an octopus. He has to do many, many, many things. Okay, so what many students do not do is this. When they have a question, they do not go ask their teachers. Make your teachers busy. When you do your studying, if you cannot figure things out, please do not sit at your desk and spend 2 hours or 3 figuring one question. If you really cannot solve a problem and you don't understand the concept, very simple. What you need to do is to take a pencil, put a cross to the question, and that will be an indicator. Tomorrow I will ask my teacher about that. Put a cross. No, maybe put a question mark. Means I don't know. If you read something and you disagree with what it says, or you disagree with the answers even, you put a cross. Put a cross means tomorrow you're going to debate with a teacher. Tell him why you think that is wrong, and let your teacher tell you what he thinks. And then that's the way you understand that. So simple. And then if you know, if you understood, you can take a piece of paper and write it all out without thinking much. You put a tick. I know. And I can write it out. Simple or not? Okay, so if you don't understand, put a question mark. Go ask your teacher. If you don't agree, put a cross. The next day, go clarify with your teacher. If you already know, put a tick. The more ticks you put onto your pages, the better you will feel. Can it be worse? No. And you do it with a sense of urgency. Calculate and estimate how much time you need for each subject, how much time you need for studying, working things out, and how much time you will allocate for yourself for the revision phase. Add all of them up. Start from the first day of your examination and work backwards. You will get your start date for revision. And this start date is different from your friends. Different from the template that the teacher has given you. Different. It is your own. care about yourself, if you know your own weaknesses and strengths, you should be able to work out your own time for revision, and before that for study. Okay, that is all for now about the expansion on